Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. The show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies, how the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. Welcome to All Things Capital. I'm Jane King at the New York Stock Exchange with Courtney Murray, CEO of Coastal Capital, and our guest, Helen Wijet, who is the founder and CEO of Alternative Wealth Partners. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about your private equity firm and fund manager, and you invest exclusively in alternative assets. So explain what that means and why private versus public assets.
Sure. So this is obviously like the perfect place to talk about private assets, right? So I've been exclusively in alternatives for almost 15 years. And that's because I really like kind of like the backbone of what built this country, and it's small business. And I saw a gap between how individual investors and the big institutional investors were investing, and there was no one in this kind of middle sector, and no one was giving access to the alternative space, which is basically everything not stocks, bonds, and cash. So everything else, real estate, crypto, small business, private lending, all sorts of different things that individual investors don't necessarily have access to from their traditional financial professionals.
Well, Kelly, I am so happy to have you here. I've followed you for so long. And I know that you mentioned risk. And as we know, women tend to be more risk averse than men. As a well-known advocate for women, when it comes to money, what does it mean for women regarding investing?
I think that it's been a huge shift, especially in like the last 5 years of like women actively seeking out more financial literacy, like more education. They want to be more active in their financial picture. And I think that you know, the idea that women are more risk adverse is kind of dated, right? We're not risk adverse, we're calculated. And we want to look at things. And when we make a commitment to a stock, to another investment, to our families, whatever we're deciding to do, we tend to make that decision and see it all the way through. And I think that's the kind of the biggest difference. It's not about, you know, we don't want to take risks. We just take really calculated risks.
Informed risks.
Yes.
Yeah,
informed
very.
risks.
Very. So with that said, do you have any insights on how women can start taking ownership of their financial future?
I think it's definitely just like taking the first step. I think a lot of women struggle with like the confidence behind it. There's a lot of talk about women's confidence with money. I mean, girl math blew up several months ago, and you know, it was kind of made a joke. But the reality is that women are thinking about money, and when they become vocal about it, they shouldn't be shot down, right? And I think that if we can kind of start encouraging each other to talk about it more, that we'll have more access to more information.
Yeah, I loved your girl math article that you shared. I laughed when I read it, but it is the truth.
Yeah.
You know, you're an emerging manager in high demand these days. And so what does that definition, does it create any barriers for you because you're in such high demand?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of talk about wanting to have diverse and emerging managers from big money and asset allocators. But the problem is that the barrier to entry for emerging managers, you know, we're not coming out the woodworks with like billion-dollar funds, right? We're starting small, 10, 50, maybe $100 million. That's typically the smallest check size that a lot of these alligators can write. So they can't be 100% of your fund. So it takes a lot of time and effort to try to get to the point where you're managing enough money that you become an emerging manager in their eyes. So there's a lot of that kind of barrier, but I really like working with like the retail investor, like normal everyday millionaires, right? Because I can only work with people that have high net worths. But there's 25 million millionaires in the United States. It's a lot of people that have access to the ability to invest in alternatives. And there's small managers like myself who are managing under $100 million on the way to $500 million or $1 billion that they can get involved in writing $100,000, $250,000 checks.
Wow.
And then you also recently introduced the Alternative Wealth Partners second vintage, the Diversity Fund 2.
Yes.
Right? So tell us about the fund. What makes that up? Why launch a new fund?
So I had been in the space for a really long time, but I had been working on like individual emerging deals, everything from like oil and gas and real estate, you know, cannabis to other types of like medical devices and things. But what I felt was missing was an opportunity for an investor to invest a lump sum of capital in like kind of a mutual fund of alternatives, right? There wasn't an individual investor, if they want to get invested in alts, they have to go out and find $50,000 at a time in individual deals, and they've got to do due diligence on those deals. And, typically you have somebody who owns an HVAC company isn't going to be an expert in like a manufacturing company, right? But they want to make an investment. They want to have exposure in that space. So I created a diversified fund. Somebody could take a lump sum of capital and invest across multiple different asset classes that were all correlated with each other to get a blended rate of return in the alt space.
Okay. Makes perfect sense, actually.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Kellyanne, thank you so much for coming in and explaining this. Thank you as well, Courtney.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, it was great. Thank you, Jane.
Thanks. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
The Sustainable Green Team is a leading provider of environmentally conscious solutions in the arbor care, disposal, and recycling industry. We are a vertically integrated green manufacturer of green waste to usable product solutions. We recently partnered with VRM Biologic, which includes manufacturing and distribution rights for world-leading soil moisture technology, Humisoil, and XLR8 Bio. Find us on the OTCQX as the stock ticker SGTM. The time to invest in the future of sustainability is now for this generation and future generations.
The Sustainable Green Team is a company that is leading the way in revolutionizing sustainability through the utilization of state-of-the-art technology. Their primary objective is to convert waste into valuable nutrients, thereby creating a positive impact on the planet. And they're also offering innovative solutions, and Sustainable Green Team actively assisting companies in achieving their climate sustainability targets as well. So with me, CEO Tony Rer. Great to have you back here. And I guess just tell us about the recent increase you've had in executives and some of the management team.
Yeah, as you know, our company has really pivoted from mulch manufacturing into technology. And so we've really brought in some incredible talent to take on a global mission. It takes a really unique team. And so, experts between financial, governance, sustainability, yeah, we've really increased our horsepower.
So are they geographically all over the world? So that will help you. I know you've
actually, you're right. They are.
Dubai,
yeah,
so
we have some in the Middle East that really have great connections with government. And that are stationed right into that region. So we have a very diverse group, from Australia to the Middle East and America. It's really good.
So what's kind of your goal with these people? Expansion, new markets?
Yeah, really to take a team of experts and advisors to really work together with the leadership team to help steer the ship in the right direction, to be able to take the expertise that they have and the wealth of knowledge. And, something my dad taught me when I was a young man is, wisdom comes through a multitude of counsel. And so when you have a group of counsel of wise individuals that believe in your vision, you get to where you want to go, and you get there quicker, and a lot less error and mistake that can come.
Hang with the smart people,
That's
right?
it.
That's a good lesson.
That's exactly right.
So what can we expect to see from Sustainable Green Team in the next few months?
I would say you're going to see some serious momentum. Our company is gearing up all across the world, and we're seeing some great movement, and you're going to see some big things.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
So tell us a little bit about the company. For people that haven't seen our interviews, this is what you're doing. I gave a little intro, but explain a little.
Yeah, we have a very disruptive technology that solves global issues from different facets. I mean, we know that the world has depleting soil issues, and we have a technology that turns waste into nutrients. And we do it in a way that is it's a paradigm shift. It's from the old methods of utilizing waste that would actually create more issues with climate, gases being released. With our technology, we actually sequester carbon, and we are able to attack serious global issues from odors, disease, global famines, food security. And so we have a revolutionary technology, and it's scalable, and it's pretty simple because we're taking what the world's waste issues are that are creating a problem, and we're utilizing them to solve the problem.
Okay, thank
Pretty
you so
cool.
much, Tony.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Lameness issues, joint pain, and osteoarthritis can be difficult to treat and debilitating for an animal's health and well-being. Take control of lameness issues and joint pain. Introducing Spring with OsteoCushion technology. With just one injection, Spring, with osteocushion technology, targets the root cause of lameness issues, joint pain and osteoarthritis, helping animals do what they do best.
MetaWorks has an AI avatar-based education platform, specifically the company using AI and the Metaverse to create new fast classes. And with me is Scott Gallagher, the CEO, to talk more about this. I think this is one of the great applications of the Metaverse is education. So tell me about this and what are your areas of initial focus?
Sure. Well, we developed FAST. We're going to be launching FAST Class this summer. And the concept is that it's focused around the declining attention span and problems within the educational space. So statistics are that children lose focus, well, really K to 12 students. Their attention kind of dies out after 10, 15 minutes, and then it drops really to zero. And then also the fact that there's limited engagement in the traditional education platforms. So what we're doing is taking Metaverse and AI and creating a two-way engagement platform where the students can actually ask the AI questions, have a real interactive conversation, and they can learn things like you can talk to George Washington or John F. Kennedy or things like that. So we've taken, we're setting our first group of about 10 classes that will launch this summer. And then that's going to be our platform for the education side, fastclass.ai.
It's really amazing. I did one of those things that talked to, I think it was like William Shakespeare or something, ask questions, and they kind of respond. It's like cool and creepy at the same time. So now, are these for young kids, high school kids? What's the gift?
Both, because when you take a look at the younger kids, we can do things like dinosaurs in Jurassic Park and have them walk with a dinosaur, get in a spaceship and fly around. But then as you get older, you can have them learn more about the technology in general, or have conceptual conversations with Morgan Freeman, Elon Musk, those type of people. But across the board, the engagement is the key thing. And that's the key driver that we feel this Web3 kind of blockchain technology with AI rolled over is really kind of the differentiator and should change. A lot of people are doing it right now, but I think that's where the future of education will be.
I mean, it really brings it to life too. Instead of reading a book, you're actually engaging. Is it headsets, virtual reality, or how does it work?
So it's not headset. Headset's not required. The headsets are part of it, but our platform can be used on your cell phone, tablet, any internet-connected device. Obviously, it's much more immersive with headset or AR, VR glasses.
And then, so how will you roll this out? Will you go to school districts? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so we've signed for an initial pilot project with a school in New Jersey that we're starting it off with, and we're also Fast Class will be a retail product as well. It can be sold. People can sign up for it for an annual subscription base. But we've got deep educational experience on our board of directors. One of our directors worked with the Obama and Bush administration, staffing up the Department of Education. And so we've got deep contacts within the educational space once the product is ready for full launch.
What about other applications, fitness, health, things like that?
Yeah, I mean, again, across the board, AI, back when Meta was really focused on Metaverse, the one area that they saw traction on was in the fitness space. They didn't think that was, they put a product out there and people really kind of gravitated toward it. Now with the rise of AI, we feel again, people are understanding more about health and how it relates to diseases coming out of COVID, and for younger people to understand how that kind of helps them across the board in their quality of life. These are all areas that I think within education, using blockchain with AI layered on top of it can really make a difference.
Well, and mental health too, I think there's been some evidence that that it can help with that as well.
Huge, yeah. I mean, again, having an AI avatar that you can talk to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that's trained on mental health issues, again, could potentially save lives. I mean, it's giving that access to somebody that's having problems to be able to have this kind of companion if they don't have anybody to talk to, and it's trained as an expert in mental health. So those are areas that we've looked at deeply and are focusing on as well.
Oh, interesting. How can somebody find out more about the FAST class?
Right now, we go to MetaWorks.ai and FastClass.ai. The product will be rolled out sometime this summer. We don't have an exact launch date yet, but we're looking at mid-summer. But MetaWorks.ai is the best place for information right now.
Okay, Scott, thanks. Good luck with this. This sounds really exciting. Thanks
for having me.
Reliance Global Group is an Insurtech company transforming the traditional insurance model with technology, including artificial intelligence and automation. With me is Moshe Fishman, the Director of Insurtech and Operations at Reliance Global. So great to have you back here at the NASDAQ. Now, you previously mentioned the one firm vision has begun to produce some positive results for Reliance Global. So how do you measure success? Explain that. What are you learning from that?
Okay, great. Thanks for having me back. So last time we discussed the one firm, the expected benefits is having an increase of revenue because of that. The carrier consolidation, you come stronger to the carrier as a bigger player in the field. You could have better overrides, and there's different parts from that end. And there's also an increased benefit of being stronger to help the revenue, also the resources for the expenses, that you're able to have expenses go further to produce more revenue. And the way we gauge the success on that is the ratio as the revenue grows, the ratio of how much expenses have to grow with that slowly gets smaller because it's more efficient. Mm-hmm. But there's also another part which we didn't mention last time, which when you have a one firm approach running the business, it takes away a little bit of the risk. When you have a smaller insurance business, smaller any business, you have the key employees, there's more that it's harder to replace if that employee were to leave. And when you have the one firm and people can work as a team, there's fewer one-person teams. This way it takes away that risk and people can help each other and find replacements when needed. So it also helps drive growth also, knowing you're not relying on just one single person for a task.
Now also, the company recently announced an acquisition in the voluntary benefits space that's expected to close soon. So explain the strategic decision behind that. How is that progressing?
That's a good question. That's good news. We're also working towards the closing of that acquisition. It's well on the due diligence part, and it's looking very positive. It's a strong operation, the business, their model of how they're distributing the insurance product. It's incredible and effective, and we're very pleased to see as that progresses towards it's ready to close.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the type of business and how this may contribute to your success?
Yeah, so it's in the voluntary benefits space, and the strategy, the way that's marketed, is to large employers. It could be real estate, it could be skilled nursing facilities where you have an employer managing many employees. And I think where the marketing of it to make it so profitable and attractive is the employer appreciates what this company, this target, is doing in their space, again, giving access to their employees to sell them the voluntary benefit product. But the employer is not actually paying our target money. They're just giving access. And when they come in and provide great products and help their employees feel taken care of, it wins for them as an employer. So when you have something that you can have employee retention and take care of your employees and not pay for it by giving them the services from this target, it's really sticky, and having business that sticks is the key to all that residual revenue, and it's a really good business model. We're really excited about it.
What about 2024? What kind of things does Reliance Global have going on? What should investors be looking out for?
There's two fronts. We're talking a little bit about the acquisition, about the one firm, and they really come together. In the recently announced earnings, there's high teen revenue growth of 2023 over 2022. And that contributed a lot. There was some from the acquisition from the 2022, but a lot of organic growth. And then when you couple that organic growth with this acquisition that's on the horizon right now, it catapults it even higher. And it's really exciting seeing what we're doing now is working, and when you put it in with additional acquisitions to put us even in a higher position. And like everybody wants to see the earning of the company go higher and higher, and I think God willing, we're poised to head there.
How can somebody find out more about Reliance Global?
Easiest way is you go to RelianceGlobalGroup.com. There's a link to sign up for investor relations. You'll get emails and all press releases. There's a lot of information on the website. You can always reach out to the IR firm for more information as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Moshe.
Thank you.
Thanks for the update.
The Sustainable Green Team is a leading provider of environmentally conscious solutions in the arbor care, disposal, and recycling industry. We are a vertically integrated green manufacturer of green waste to usable product solutions. We recently partnered with VRM Biologic, which includes manufacturing and distribution rights for world-leading soil moisture technology, Humisoil, and XLR8 Bio. Find us on the OTCQX as the stock ticker SGTM. The time to invest in the future of sustainability is now for this generation and future generations.
Lameness issues, joint pain, and osteoarthritis can be difficult to treat and debilitating for an animal's health and well-being. Take control of lameness issues and joint pain. Introducing Spring with OsteoCushion technology. With just one injection, Spring with OsteoCushion technology targets the root cause of lameness issues, joint pain, and osteoarthritis, helping animals do what they do best.
Your data is vulnerable to hackers, with email being the cause of 91% of all cyber attacks. Introducing SKUR, Swiss-hosted, data-mine-free, private and secure solutions to protect your communications. Secure Mail offers secure and private email communication. Secure Messenger offers private and secure chats. Secure VPN encrypts your internet traffic and protects your digital identity. Regain your privacy today. Visit SKUR at sekur.com.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to your Sekur Privacy and Security segment. I'm Anna Berry, and this is Alain Ghiai, the CEO of Sekur. The weekly hack tackles something pretty big. AT&T had a data leak. It hit 73 million current and former users. Luckily, I don't have my provider with AT&T, but it could happen to any of the big tech companies, couldn't it, Alain?
Yeah, and what happened is it did happen to the other two telecom operator, I think, T-Mobile, Verizon. I'm not with AT&T, but what's really horrific here, I mean, we're talking about 73 million people, and they don't know if it's on AT&T that they breach or one of their vendors. And that makes a big difference. If you're using a vendor, that means you're communicating and you're basically, your communications are not safe, obviously. And that also means that the vendor may have sold the data. You know how they all sell each other's data. One of my advisor board members sent me something yesterday that Netflix got 100 million for Facebook for ads, and then Facebook gave their data. They exchange each other's data. Whoever got which one, I forgot. But it's all over X, on the X platform, formerly Twitter. And that's what's happening every day. And unfortunately, now you got 73 million people with their social security number and their entire information in the dark web. So that's pretty bad. Also, if you go on the internet these days, you need to protect your IP address and your identity. Our secure VPN uses Swiss IP addresses, proprietary. We don't use third-party big tech platforms or a hosting provider. And what's critical to know is that in Switzerland, the law dictates that your IP address is your private property. So we can't even touch anything that you do unless we have written confirmation from you that it's okay to sell your data, which nobody would do in their rightful mind, obviously. So that's a way to do it. We don't require your phone number, so that protects you. It renders you invisible to hackers trying to find you by name and phone number. It's got a vetting process. So if you have a family with kids, I'd recommend having the kids use a secure messenger so they can accept only the people they know. You can also chat with someone who doesn't have secure through chat by invite. So we have a package like that. I'd recommend everybody to go to sekur.com, take a look at what we have, and also go to the help. And we have video tutorials on everything. But everything that we do has the Swiss privacy laws embedded in there, the non-big tech, non-open source, everything is proprietary, and we don't data mine you, and we don't manipulate your data. Your data is yours.
Perfect. And what is the promo code for our viewers today?
Promo code privacy, and you get 15% off any solutions for the next 5 years. You have very affordable solutions from like $9 up on a monthly basis. You'll see the packages that are on sekur.com, and we welcome anybody who wants to take their privacy back.
Perfect. There you have it. It's the weekly hack. Privacy has arrived with Sekur. Thanks so much, Alain. Always great talking and learning from you.
Thanks, Anna. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Your data is vulnerable to cyber attacks. Introducing SKUR Swiss-hosted solutions. Secure Mail, Secure Messenger, and Secure VPN, protecting your communications, internet traffic, and identity. Regain your privacy today. Visit Sekur.